Hey everyone, the Game Piece here, and welcome to Temtem Up. We got another battle here for you, this time against Bobby D, so let's get right into the ban phase, you guys. I get the first pick here, and eyeing up his team, he's got some pretty off-meta stuff, not really a whole lot of common threats here. Knowing that Mudrid is capable of having Dust Vortex now, though, I really wanted to ban that because I have a lot of things that are weak against Earth-type on my team, stuff like Volcrane, Gialis, Raize, Valash. Really does not want to take any of that. So I go ahead and get that out of the way, and then he decides to ban my Kinu, knowing that I probably want to bring it in with Gialis or Valash and get that defense buff up, knowing how strong that capability is to have on a setup user like Valash or Gialis. He knows that that's a really smart ban. So in order to counter some of his picks here, I go ahead and choose my Calibus and Saipat to kind of threaten his Anahir, his Saku, his Kinu, and his Volcrane from being the second pick along with his Pig Epic for the first two picks there. He decides to pick his Voloran though, which is probably the best option that he's capable of bringing along in the short term here. So then it is going to be his ban. He goes ahead and gets rid of the Gialis. Gialis is one of the most threatening Tems in the metagame at the moment, so that's an extremely common ban at the moment. So I definitely am not surprised by that in the least. Looking at his team though, and looking at what I have left to be able to pick from, I really am thinking that I'm capable of dealing with most of the threats on his team besides Platimus. So I go ahead and get rid of Platimus there, knowing that I really don't want to lose Volcrane, and I really need that to be able to pull off the win here. So I go ahead and pick my Tuvine. I really don't want him to ultimately be scared of bringing the Saku or the Kinu. So he goes ahead and picks the Saku, and then also decides to bring one of his fire types here. I really wanted to, like I said, bait the Saku pick mostly because if I would have went with a Volcrane, I think he wouldn't have brought Saku at all altogether. He goes ahead though and brings Volcrane along, and I go ahead and ultimately decide to pick my last two Tems here. Taking a look at what he has left, I know that I need Volcrane in order to finish off Anahir, Volcrane, Saku. Really, Volcrane is going to be my ace in the hole in this battle here. But then looking at my last two Tems, I have to choose between Raize and Valash. Valash isn't really going to be able to do much if he decides to go for Anahir, so I choose to go for the Raize, and he goes for the Anahir for his last slot. So let's get right into the match against Bobby D here. He goes ahead and leads off with the Pig Epic and Volorant, and my two leads are the Calibus and the Saipat. So initially starting off here, his Volorant's going to go for a Noxious Bomb right into the Saipat here, which my Saipat is pretty bulky, so it's going to take that pretty well along with the Tukma Mask, reducing the damage by 20%. Toxic Ink is going to fly off into the Pig Epic here. I really want to start whittling down the HP with the Toxic stacks. Bamboozle's going to go off into the Volorant slot, eating up the attack that my Calibus wanted to go for. So that ended up working out pretty okay in my favor. Go ahead and swap out the Saipat because I don't want to take another Noxious Bomb. Kind of expecting the Volorant to go for something like that, even though that is the obvious play. But I go ahead and swap in Tuvine to take any sort of Noxious Bomb. But he goes ahead and Tornadoes into Calibus and Toxic Plumes, getting the Toxic stacks off, but no attack drop, no synergy, so that's completely okay with me. But he goes ahead and goes for the Feather Gatling on the next turn after I strangle the Pig, so the Pig can't do anything, allowing me to freely attack. So I go for Humiliating Slap into the Volorend, and that is going to be super good for getting this Volorend out of here in the long term. Humiliating Slap lowers the defense of the Temtem that it attacks, so Volorend's going to be taking heavy physical damage here. But he goes ahead and swaps up the Volorant on the next turn, not wanting to take a heavy physical hit from Tuvine, and goes ahead and Tornadoes into Calibus, taking it out, but going for the overexertion and allowing the Saku to take the hit that Volorant otherwise was going to take, which does pretty good damage. I go ahead and bring in Saipat to replace Calibus and bring out Tuvine on the next turn because I wanted to get the speed drop off on the Saku here as well as the Pig Epic. This Tornado comes out onto Saipat. I really didn't expect it to KO. That did a lot more damage than I kind of expected it to do anyway. But I go ahead and went for the Toxic Ink to try to get the Saku out of here. And with the Toxic stacks, it does end up being enough to KO here. But Pig Epic was overexerted that last turn, so it wasn't able to do anything. So Pickaxe just going to sit here and recover a little bit of HP while I wait for my opponent to bring in his next Tem, which is going to be Volorend. Gonna go ahead and pull off a Nicho Sai. I was hoping that it would be enough after the defense dropped to KO, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to pick up the KO. Volorend gonna be going for Toxic Ink and is going to overexert for the KO on itself. So that ends up working out for me. He goes ahead and tornadoes into my Raize to try to get off some chip damage. Goes ahead and overexerts itself, and I go for the Embers. Luckily, does not KO. Goes ahead and picks up the burn damage, so I'm not taking the Fainted Curse and losing 40% of my HP, and I will lose the Poison Stack and go ahead and bring in Volcrane, knowing that his last two Tems are going to be Ana here and Volcrane. Volcrane on my own side of the field is going to have a pretty easy time dealing with these threats. Go ahead and Roar on my Raize to lower the attack in case they wanted to go for something like a Stone Ball, which I had assumed that Volcrane was obviously going to do, but mine does end up outspeeding and going first. His goes second. Unfortunately, after that attack drop, it's not going to do really much of anything for him, but I go ahead and swap out on the next turn into my Tuvine, not wanting to take any extra damage and losing the Volcrane because of a Stone Ball or a Chains hit or what have you. I go ahead and go for the King's Roar on the Raize to further lower the attack to really kind of secure the win here. Going for another Stone Ball. It does not KO Raize, but on the next turn he KOs my Raize with a Ninja Jutsu. However, he does overexert himself, probably hoping to pick up some sort of KO here with the Meteor Swarm from the On here, I'm imagining. I go ahead and go for the Noxious Bomb. I have Shuin's Horn on Tuvine, so it's water damage. Gonna be able to easily pick up the KO here. Going for the Meteor Swarm. But as you can see, after those two attack stage drops, it really does not do hardly anything, allowing me to go ahead and bring in my Volcrane and pick up the win with a Stone Ball here. But really good game to my opponent, Bobby D. It really came down kind of to the wire here, so I really appreciate the challenge, man, and I hope we get to battle again soon in the future. Hopefully the ranked mode will be coming out any day as well, you guys. That's going to be really exciting. Gonna go full in on that, so that's something to look forward to. But if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like and be sure to subscribe for more Temtem content such as this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.